This will be very interesting.
You have 40 minutes. You may begin.
And our match is going to begin. There's the die roll.
Isaiah rolled an 8, and Ervin rolled a 7. So let's see who goes first here.
Excuse me.
So I think we're just waiting for the round to start here,
Yep.
guys. Oh, no.
Yep, there we go.
They're going right at it.
And there's the Farfa right off the bat, and normal summon Seer to open up Isaiah's turn.
He's going straight for that Dante.
No surprises here.
I had a very good feeling Burning Abyss would be that very...
Oh,
wow.
He risks the Seer, and he's unable to get anything off it. So,
but that good and evil could do something for the next turn.
It could. So he does mill a good and evil. With 2 set back rows, that's going to end his turn. So no fear of a Fire Lake for Ervin on Ervin's end for now. So let's see what Ervin can do now.
Now, I was pretty positive that I did see Ervin draw Night Beam, so we'll see if he maybe just goes for a blind one.
Wouldn't be a bad idea considering how
that's a foolish burial.
Low traps that they play. But yeah, it is. It does look like a foolish burial now. So let's
with that
see
enemy
what we can
controller.
Do.
We'll see what Ervin wants to do here. And Ervin does open up with a foolish burial.
So let's see who's going to dump there.
I'm going to assume the standard graph.
The graph is traditionally your normal play.
Yep.
And indeed, he's going to activate graph. Yep. And Lozea doesn't have an answer, it seems. He does. He's holding an enemy controller in his hand. So he's going to decide to get a Scarm with it.
It's interesting to see how Ervin isn't meaning Max C. I'm not so sure about Isaiah over there, but Max C just seems to be such a good card, and I just feel like it is almost a main deck now.
Isaiah also not running a Max, not maining Max C. He sides it though. He is running 2 good and evils though. And both these players are running enemy controllers in their decks, so in the main deck, so let's see what happens. So it looks like a special summon of Rube coming down to the field. And you got to wonder what Ervin's going to do here. If he's going to go to the Dante or if he's going to go to the Virgil.
Well, Ervin does know if he does go into the Virgil to banish Dante, that Farfa's going to get rid of the Virgil for the rest of the turn. So that's not very effective, even with a Scarm searching in end phase. But we shall see. But it looks like Isaiah is going to respond.
No, doesn't look like it. It wouldn't be that bad if he does take out the... if he does take out the Dante, at least he can't make the search with it for now, and he can follow up with it, depending on what he discards, but we'll see what happens. Reading the Farfa.
And again, Farfa, it's just so relevant, and it's just always there. It's amazing.
So indeed, he will go for the Virgil.
Yeah.
Now, wonder if Isaiah was going to have a response. So we will Wing Blast. And he ditches a Fire Lake. Now, Ervin has an enemy controller in his hand, so he wants to figure out.
Ervin also hasn't normal summoned this turn. With that Torgat in hand, that could effectively get him a Seer to bring that Virgil back if he has tribute it. If he does tribute it,
that is true. He can do it. But if he does that, he can also normal summon that Torgat and then get a Seer and then special summon it back.
Yeah.
So if he does play that econ now, so he can score some incredible damage here. If he chooses to, if he wants to make that push. And
that Farfa, though, is still there.
Yes, it is still there. But if he takes control of that Farfa.
Well, the Farfa will still be sent to Isaiah's grave.
He can still banish, he can still banish his own Dante. So, after careful deliberation, he's deciding, okay, I'm going to let that go.
I think that was the correct play.
There's no need for him to have to push at this point in time.
Because it looks like he does have a seer in his hand. Yep, he does. He's got a graph, tour guide, seer, and an enemy controller in his hand.
So there's the tour guides coming out.
And Ervin does go straight for that seer.
Because he can at least mill for he can at least mill and bring back a graph to the field if he chooses to. All in now, what is he gonna do?
Do you just make Dante and pass, or do you make the Dante and mill bit? Try and get some more cards, or we'll see.
Yeah, now he's going to play the enemy controller. He wants that Dante. So Isaiah just kind of flicks it over to him. He's like,
There is the fear of downward, though.
he can indeed go to downward afterwards. That is true. He's got a special summon on this. He's got a special summon to Seer. Amazing.
This is interesting. What does Ervin have? I don't really like what he's doing here.
So he's going to Alucard. And he will burn a Seer just to take out that back row. And it's, oh wow, looks like an MST. So he's just going to swing for, looks like 28. And then he's probably going to go into a downward magician afterwards with that Dante.
He might throw double down or down, even on that Alucard, but I don't see why he would, considering Isaiah's now got no cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no need.
This is a very strong position for Ervin.
There's no need to. And he's going to make an end phase search with Skarm just to finish it off. And already puts Isaiah in a very precarious situation. Now, he does have a good and evil in his hand.
Or in his grave.
In his grave,
so
sorry,
if he did
rather.
draw a Burning Abyss monster.
Yep. So he's going to do that. And he will activate it and toss a Rubik.
That is a very good card to get rid of, too, in a sense. As it's not... No, it is effective in the hand, but what he can get, there's really not much he can.
Yep.
I have a feeling that Isaiah is already run out of the resources to keep up with Ervin right now, especially after that enemy controller.
No,
taking his
absolutely not. And Graph is a good decision to go for. And he's just going to set the Graph. Now, he probably was going to have to pop. He probably wants to pop. He could pop it with Alucard, but you got to bear in mind that he doesn't have
Farfa.
Yeah.
He's going to go straight for the Farfa. See?
Yep, he goes
Amazing,
right to the
isn't
Farfa.
it?
Yep.
Amazing what Farfa just now does.
I know. It's able to take down a monster. It's able to remove a monster, even if it's face down, too. That's the amazing thing about it.
Can remove a card on both, or remove a monster on both sides of the field.
Yeah, on either player's field, too. So that
amazing.
Farfa is putting in absolute work and amazing. So definitely we're starting to think that, yeah, you've got to run Farfa in 3. It is absolutely
It's almost
monstrous.
It's a staple at 3 with the Seared Skarm and Graph. Absolutely. Like I said, I played at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Day yesterday, and Farfa was definitely feared after I played against it once. It was just such a fear in my eyes to even think about it. It's like, man, all he needs to do is Foolish Burial. Farfa, my cards are gone, and if I don't make a diamond or anything, like, I'm a sitting duck for the OTK.
But what a small string of bad luck there for Isaiah, not being able to mill Burning Abyss off that Seer, and then Ervin was able to capitalize despite the defense that Isaiah had. And he's able to take, and Ervin So is able to take game 1 off Isaiah. Looking into their side decks here, well, Isaiah has 2 Majesty's Fiend and 2 Max C, 2 Puppet Plant, which are probably going to win, and even 2 Ojama Trio.
I personally really like Ojama Trio. If you're going first and you can get that on the board, it's definitely game breaking. I played it yesterday in my tellers. Very, very powerful.
Ojama Trio actually and so it looks like there's even 8 cards he can run. He also runs a bottomless, a Time Space, and 3 Fairy Wind. Time Space could possibly go in, but that's 9 cards decided in the mirror match. That's a lot.
I find this to be very interesting. A lot of people, and Ervin So, is now under the impression that Dark Resignator is actually a very good side card for Ojama Trio. This is a very, very good card to see, Especially does he, well, Virgil, funny enough, is a generic rank 6 or level 6 monster.
It is, surprisingly.
So your Skarm can search Dark Resonator because he is a level 3 fiend.
Yes,
and then if your opponent has played Ojama Trio on you, you can synchro up. You can take one of those tokens and you can make a Virgil. That is very, very powerful.
That's it. You can take advantage of that as well. Yeah, that's a very true statement there. So let's see if Ervin's gonna side that Dark Resonator in.
The thing is though, it's do you assume people are already siding Ojama Trio at the max? Like, do you just throw Dark Resonator in there for the assumption that they're playing it, or do you side it in under the impression that even if they're not playing the Ojama Trio, that you can still use it to sync her up? Because of course, if your opponent does get rid of, like, say they compulse a graph after a tour guide, and usually that's what a bit of a soft lock on the tour guide, right? Well, next turn, say they can normal summon the Dark Resonator, and then sync her up with tour guide right into the Virgil again. I honestly really like Dark Resonator in this deck, especially with the one Burning Abyss that specials the Fiend from hand.
It's a definitely surprising pick for sure, and it can act as a bit of a wall because it cannot be destroyed by battle for at least once.
Too. That's a nice, cute little effect it's got.
Yes, it is. So it is at least somewhat useful on its own. It can wall out some attacks. So we're going to see what happens here, and see if Ervin So can pluck out that one Dark Resonator from his deck and use it to his advantage. We're going to see.
I think Ervin will also probably be siding his enemy controller, the 2 Max C and the 3 Vanities, considering a lot of people do take those Fire Lakes straight out of the deck in the mirror, because it's just not as effective as people wish it would be. So
no, it's definitely not. So let's see what he can do here. So he definitely got 3 Vanities, 3 Emptiness, and 1 Econ, but already pairing up with another Econ he already has in his deck. 2 Econ, so he can go to 3 Econ if he has to. And he can also go Rekaki and Dark Hole, which can be game breakers if you're going out for the finishing attack. So it's there. So let's see what happens here. As both players are going to shuffle up here and get ready to go for game 2. And Ervin took quite a command in game 1 there. And after Isaiah just could not mill any Burning Abyss off his first Dante. And
Downer definitely makes cards such as Enemy Controller, Mind Control, and Snatch Deal so much more powerful in this mirror match. Being able to just take that Dante, Ervin even knew that he didn't want to mill for the Dante for extra damage because of that Farfa being able to banish.
Exactly.
So he just left it on there.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't actually extra damage after all, and instead just put it to Downer to put it as another material for more damage. So very smart of Ervin there to make those plays. So it looks like Isaiah's going to start off with a set monster and 3 back row. Again, he could not open up with 2 Burning Abyss monsters. So there's a Night Beam to open it up. The Vanity's Emptiness is going to get popped.
That's a very good hit.
That's a very huge hit. So a set card back at Ervin's side.
So it looks like Ervin was just actually checking to see if you needed 2 face-out Burning Abyss.
Yep.
This is interesting, though.
So he sets 2 of his background and sets what appears to be, I believe, was a graph.
Looks like both these guys not off to a super strong start here. This is quite interesting.
So let's see what Isaiah's going to do. He has a tour guide. It looks like he was going to play it, but took it back. So we all know now that Isaiah does have that tour guide. So let's see if he's going to play it or not.
I did see a Maxine Ervin So's hand, though. So that tour guide could effectively be devastating to Isaiah.
So here comes that tour guide, and it's all to Ervin now to say, do I want to play that Maxi?
Yep.
Yes, and he will.
So at least Maxi will even himself out now, and it will force Isaiah into a certain, I guess in a sense, bad spot, because do you really want to throw another Dante out, or do you want to give your card another draw?
That's the question, though. The Dante can provide so much security, but that the +1 may not be a bad idea to give it to him, but it's all in the play.
Dante does reoccur himself as well, so it almost seems like it'd balance out in a turn or two. But
Yes, it does. You can seem to balance it out later on, but do you want to take that gamble?
do you want it later on? And it almost looks like Isaiah might take that gamble.
And if so, and if not, can I at least protect my tour guide for the turn so I can at least, exceed into it later if I choose not to take this challenge. So Isaiah now he's reluctantly doing it, so shaking his head, but he's going to do it. And he does indeed go with the Dante finally. I don't know what mode it's supposed to be in, but I guess it's supposed to be attack mode.
Looks like he wants to attack himself.
Once again, no Burning Abyss milled, so it is an attack mode, and he's going to go for the swing. I almost want to guess that's either a graph or a Skarm set, and it's a graph.
Just like he called.
Not surprising at all, so here comes the graph, and it's probably going to special summon a Skarm. Normal.
Ervin did draw an enemy controller.
No.
So this will be interesting to see again if Ervin can just take such a dominating lead with that enemy controller.
And a third back row will join Isaiah. Nope, not anymore. I'm still wondering if they're still in the battle phase or not because of Isaiah was maybe opting to play that set card. But so he does move into main phase 2. He sets a third card to his back row. Has that Dante in defense mode with another set defensive monster, and that's it. No cards in hand. So a normal summon of the Seer will start with Ervin. Also holding that enemy controller in his hand, too. And what a devastating card enemy controller is, especially in the mirror match.
Now does Isaiah have that Ojama trio? If so, I'm almost positive he would activate it now.
That would be definitely a fantastic time to do so. Considering
But
he's not going to be able to switch
Ervin
on
does
the
have a Fire Lake set, so there is chain ability here.
Oh, he's going to book a moon that Skarm. Oh, no. And he's got a Fire Lake to send, so he's got to send the 2. There he goes. Now pick your 3. We can't hear what he's saying. We don't know what he's saying or what he's targeting or even if he's made his targets yet. But we're going to find that out soon. And wow, what a huge play right there. Being able to burn away that Book of Moon. And then that Seer is going to be able to special summon something from the grave. That Graph, probably.
Oh, Graph would be the best call for sure. You want to leave that Skarm in there.
Absolutely. So he's going to bomb both the back rows. And I think that's all. It looks like he just signaled... And the Dante. Okay, so he will go for the Dante and both the back rows. So he chains Typhoon to destroy his other card. So it's...
Ervin
oh, wow.
At all.
It's a good and evil. So Ervin didn't... So Ervin's actually happy that happened.
It opens up his board for those special summons.
Absolutely. So
now he just has it for freely to use next turn.
Who would have thought that getting Typhoon would be beneficial for you?
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, in a Burning Abyss match.
So now Isaiah here is going to choose what he wants to special summon with his Graph and then add back with that Dante.
Yep, so Ervin's going to special summon probably Graph. That's going to be Chain Link 1, but then Isaiah has to be the rest of the Chain Links. So Isaiah's got to make his search with the Dante. I believe that's all he had. Yeah, he had a Graph. So he's going to add something back with the Dante and Graph. So he's going to add the Graph with the Dante, and then the Dante, and then Graph will special summon something from the deck here.
So that might be a Skarm or a Seer that is face down on Isaiah's field.
But odds are he's probably going to toss a Skarm. Or he could do a Seer. He could do a Seer, actually, to bring back a Dante. And indeed, so he's going to bring back that Seer. The Seer will die, and then Seer is going to probably bring back the Dante.
Yes. That would be fairly okay play.
Whoa, whoa. Oh! No, buddy, kill that. Kill the seer.
The seer's dead.
Seer's dead. Yeah, seer should be dead.
What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, we gotta pause play for a second here. Hold on. We have to pause play for a second because we believe there's an illegal play going on here.
How you doing?
Hold on a second.
Job. Oh, buoy. So we just had to go through a little bit of a hiccup here. Buoy. 1 second, guys.
You just dropped some shit. God damn it. On a phone.
No, it's been charging.
Okay, so just stay here.
Yeah, yeah. Just leave it down there.
It was never that serious, dude. It was never that serious.
All right, so they did fix that error that did happen for a little bit.
Yeah, right there?
Well, there's that good and evil coming in. So Ervin and Isaiah both playing the good and evil.
I believe it does have some utility. I think along with Soul Transition, it's a love or hate card. Because Eric did bring up a good point that it is quite a feeless in hand. And Ervin did set it and was lucky enough to get that MST. But what if it never got MST'd?
Yeah, I know that would be really bad.
Because
So it's
does Ervin play Malakata?
Oh wow! So it's a Rubik. He hit a Rubik, and wow! And now he's gonna special summon off that graph.
Oh, this is
Oh
big.
wow! Oh wow! So he's got to have another Burning Abyss in his hand. If he's gonna make.
I did notice too. Ervin did side in that Dark Resonator.
Yep. Or maybe he didn't. There's a possibility that he didn't. Because he can just go to Dante instead of just going to Rubik.
This is interesting.
So going to Virgil, I'm sorry. But now this is Farfa.
It's amazing what one card can do for a deck, isn't it?
Yep.
Because now Farfa will just banish this Dante, leaving Virgil's effect wide open
Yes.
to actually even bounce something back from Isaiah's graveyard to the deck if he so chooses.
So he chooses not to activate Farfa, and he decides, I'm just going to spin that back.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess just spinning it directly is okay, because if he can't deal the 8K, then it's definitely a smarter decision.
It's
to
a lot.
just
It's a
rid of
lot
the
better
Dante.
for him. So I can't. So it looks like he got a Cagna or something. I don't know what he saw.
He discarded a Cagna by the looks of it.
Oh no! Looks. Oh, or maybe he used the good and evil. I don't know what happened there. Just looks like he used Virgil, but because that does not look like a Skarm to me at the top, or maybe. Once again, those econs just putting in work, and Isaiah just all has to do is just set
And
one
Ervin
of
just drew
these.
an MST for the one background.
Oh no. MST to MST.
Quite irrelevant.
Virgil's gonna say, I'm gonna discard and just
Yeah.
get
Now
that
Good
in the
and Evil
deck.
comes into play. He'll ditch Graph. He'll add any Burning Abyss.
Oh, and it's
and
a
then graph.
graph, yeah. Oh, I see. He's doing the good and evil
Yes,
part.
yes, he's doing the Good and Evil. He's discarded his Graph, which will get the Surge,
Yes.
or the Special Summon. And then Good and Evil also will add a Burning Abyss monster to his hand.
I just don't see the good and evil actually banished yet.
I actually believe it's actually under Ervin, because Ervin keeps it under
Yep.
his graveyard. Yeah, it's
So
just
that's-
right there at the corner of his screen.
Yep. So looks like that's the case. Yeah, I see. We
Yep.
see the good and evil now, and now he's gonna bounce it. And the Sir. And now Sir's gonna make a special, and that's it.
He just
Isaiah's
scoops
just
it.
done.
So it looks like that damage was actually dealt to Isaiah, not Ervin.
Oh,
I guess. I don't know. But a very swift 2-0 for Ervin.